like a king. I'm sure being a king is a tough job if you're operating with integrity. But basically, sovereign means a king, the highest authority, supreme magistrate. The body politic is a collective of sovereign individuals, a sovereign body of kings. A democratic sovereignty where all are equal. Now, there's a lot of conversation. Well, we're not a democracy because democracy is nowhere mentioned in the Constitution. Well, it was Thomas Jefferson who ultimately came up with the term democracy to begin with. There is a democracy in America, and the democracy exists amongst the people. Popular sovereignty means that all individuals are sovereign. That means all individuals are kings. What a mess. What happens when two kings meet? Diplomacy or war? Because they're both sovereign. How do collective body of e pluribus unum, how do we function together as a bunch of kings? Are we all a bunch of spoiled brats and we think, my way? Or are we operating the principles of diplomacy and acknowledging, yeah, you're sovereign and I'm sovereign too. So my sovereignty ends where yours begins. Well, what if you're in a society of 100 million people? Well, diplomacy dictates that you've got to learn how to get along with each other. Now, some people don't want to do that, and that's why laws come around to restrain the conduct of individuals, and we as sovereigns have given that power to government, and that's how the Constitution is supposed to operate. We give certain powers to government. Why? To punish criminals, which is within the realm of our capacity as sovereign. But if we're all just a bunch of spoiled brats, sovereigns, if we're all a bunch of whiny 13-year-old princesses or, 16-year-old rebellion princes, we don't understand who we are as kings in this country. And so, again, we're a lost principle because everybody wants it my way. So within the sense that there's an e pluribus unum, there's a democracy. But that's where the democracy ends. The body politic is sovereignty with original powers. Now get this. Government is not sovereignty. It has no original powers, but only those derived from its sovereign. The Constitution is in every real sense a law. The lawmakers being the people themselves, in whom, under our system, all political power and sovereignty primarily resides, and whom such power and sovereignty primarily speaks. That was the United States Supreme Court, Carter versus Carter Cole. Now this is an interesting one. John Randolph Tucker even took it this far. Now we're all familiar with Romans 13. Hitler loved that scripture. He wanted the German people to worship and honor him because Romans 13 said so. Well, today in America, the American populace are telling their bodies, everybody submit because that's what Romans 13 says. But now under America, there's a philosophy going on that it's completely disjointed from that kind of an attitude. If the body politic is the primary powers that be ordained of God, as John Randolph Tucker refers to here, and that the government is the secondary powers that be ordained of God, then America is very unique in history. It's a very unique country in that the government exists to serve the people, not the other way around. And so if we're going to take Romans 13 and its ultimate, give it true meaning, what is the higher power that the people are ultimately responsible to, if not the Creator, if not to the supreme ruler of the universe? So the hierarchy of order is the people who are free are exercising sovereignty only to the extent that they're being involved with a relationship with the Creator. And in that capacity then, they turn around and they give power to government. Why? To secure to us the unalienable rights that were endowed upon us by the Creator. This is the only way this thing can work. A government which obeys not a constitution. Now watch this. A government which obeys not a constitution, under which it derives and exercises power, so far from having claimed to be just divinium, or supreme as the powers that be, is a usurper of the fundamental authority of the people, which is the true just divinium, because it has primary and fundamental powers that are ordained of God. In this country, the people have the divine right of kings. In this country, the people themselves are the Romans 13 higher power, and the government, the political spectrum of government in this country is there to serve the people. And we're going to go on and explain this a little bit more. it may be stated thus as a political axiom, again, political philosophy, a maxim, 1 + 1 is 2. That's what a maxim is, or an axiom. The Constitution is supreme and paramount to all acts of all departments of government, and that any such act repugnant to or inconsistent with the Constitution is null and void. In other words, the government may not pass laws contrary to the Constitution, and the government may not act contrary to the will of the people as expressed in the Constitution. If they do, that act is null and void. It doesn't exist. So the Constitution, basically what it is, you just showed me cut. Set, to fix, and act to establish. To form and compose, to get formal expression to make a thing what it is. Are we running, or did you tell me to cut?
We're running.
Okay, because you said cut. All right. Constitution. Here we go again. The established form of government in a state, kingdom, or country, a system of political rules, political principles and ordinances for the government and a state or nation. So I'll close with this for now. When government exercises powers which the Constitution allows, its action has the full force of the sovereign will. But when the government does what the Constitution does not allow, the action of the government is ultra vires and void. This is the great discovery in political science. This is the philosophy upon which the American government rests. Ultra vires means literally to exercise power beyond that which is given. No different than a power of attorney going out and acting in my name and having absolutely no authority at all. So, going back into the Declaration of Independence, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. The Declaration of Independence. Thank you. For now. Did you hold up the wrong card?
Yes. I was just flipping them. I didn't mean to. It's supposed to be 3 minutes. I just feel like this is cut.
Probably going to have to redo that last 2 minutes because you said that you got the word governing, or you didn't get a word out that you wanted.
That's because I.
Tired, I know.
No, it's because I can't think and chew bubble gum at the same time. I got thrown by cut. He said cut, and I went cut. Cut means stop. That's all right, Mike. Right here. It was probably right about. It was right about here. This is right about here.
And it's okay. I mean, you're okay.
How much more do you have to go? Another hour?
An hour and a half. Hour and a half.
Okay, we're going to take a
We got
break.
right at 58.
Yeah, we need cheese and crackers,
So we're okay.
there's fruit, and there's meat. So that'll give David time.
Is that William back there?
Yes.
Hi, William. You like William or Bill? Hi, Bill.